Alright, welcome back. This is part 2 of the TR3 that nobody else wanted, restoration by somebody who doesn't know what they're doing. So, actually a lot has happened since last time I did any kind of filming. So let me walk you through the messy garage and I'll show you what's going on. The TR3, but the real cool thing is I bought a bunch of parts. I found one guy that had a bunch of parts that wasn't too far from me. And I got a really good hood. Well, much better than the hood that I had, which was junk. And I got all these parts over here. Like, so there's 2 aprons that I got. There's sills. There's windshields, which I didn't even have a windshield for this. A bumper that's actually in really good shape. Somebody doing a quick budget kind of film. Some parts for brake drums, all kinds of things. If we go over here, I've actually replaced some of the parts that I put aside. This is a fender where it looks a little worse. It's actually a whole lot better than the fenders that I had before. A little bit of Bondo, but that's okay. I'm not worried about that. The other fenders were such bad shape. Got these 2 rear fenders on this side, and both of them are so much better shape. This one's got this little bit of Bondo that's right here, that's bulging out, but I don't think it's that big a deal. The other one actually looks in really good shape. A little bending of metal that needs to go on. There's my MGB. I know, too many projects. And then we'll go up in the attic of the garage, and you'll see some more stuff. Got some really great doors. It might be too dark up here, but ended up getting like 6 or 7 fenders. A couple that are really good shape. Some seats, some steering wheels, some racks. Just a whole bunch of parts, and got it for very little money. It was like $250, so I had to go for it. So during that time, I also coming back down to the TR3, decided to jack this up on the side and start repairing. So my whole premise here is to try to repair this without spending all the money. Like an inner seal on this side is almost like $300, I think, from Moss. So what I went around and I found some shelving, and as you can see right here, tack welded this shelving in. Still got a lot more welding to do, but I've now attached this. I've cut out all these little parts that were just rusted to pieces, as you can see on the bottom of the floor. It was much more than that, and then replaced it with this shelving, which is a good thickness metal. It's actually a little bit thicker than this sidewall kind of thing. And then I'll lay a piece on top here and here, and then I'll cut this out and bring this all the way down and tack it in, and then just try to get it nice and solid without spending a whole bunch of money. My plan is I'm going to go ahead and once I get all this initial stuff on and tacked together and everything, my plan is to try to flip the car over and do some more welding once that goes up. One of the things, and I'm learning to weld as I go, I didn't clean the metal good enough, so I'm having some troubles, as you can see here, welding, especially into the thicker metal into this thinner metal. This was actually fairly solid on top, so it comes down to about right here, and then it gives me something to tack this to. And as you can see, with the floor in and this, it's actually pretty solid. I've put the doors up here and tested them a couple times. I've put the fenders up here and tested them a couple times, and everything looks pretty good. I mean, it's not going to be perfect, that's for sure, but we are getting there. As you can see, I've cut out little places for the B-post to come down. What I'm planning on doing is actually cutting out some of this and then replacing with a B-post that goes all the way down. And then if you go to the rear, you can see where it comes together right here. And you can see this is just a piece of shelf. And this is another piece of shelf that I've actually tacked welded together and brought around. And once this is all done and solid, then tacking it in real good, it should be okay. And you can see I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to cut a piece out here, weld in another piece. My welding's getting better and better each time, so by the time I get on the other side of the car, everything, hopefully I'll be able to weld like I'm supposed to. I'm going to go through and scrape all this and get it all taken care of. But what's cool, to me anyway, is if you stand back and look at it, look, it's actually solid. Well, it's getting solid anyway. Looks like it's actually a real sill. And this is one of the parts. This is the outer sill that I got through that $250 part swap thing. Actually, it wasn't a swap. I just bought them out straight. But if you kind of put this in semi, I got some grinding and stuff to do. But look at that. That's a sill in place. And then I can weld it in, you know, different areas, right around here, around the corners. Tack weld it all the way through here once I get all that together. Put it back here, then I'm going to have to start cutting pieces out here. This is going to be the hardest corner right down here, but I think I'll be able to tack it in and get it fairly straight. It might not look perfect, but, you know, so far, I mean, the shelving I got for free. So far I've got like about $200 worth of other parts into it, and I should be able to sell a lot of those parts out that I don't use and get some money back. So this is where I am. Let me show you the shelving that I've been using. This is it right here. It's just this is the inner side. This is just a really nice, strong metal shelving. These corners and stuff are really tough. I mean, I can't even bend it. Originally, I was going to use this shelving. As you can see, I can actually bend this. So this, let's see, I can bend it. So this wasn't good enough. Once I got the car and put it up there, I decided that just was not strong enough. I might be able to use this for patches and stuff maybe, but I don't even think I'll be able to do that. I think I'm going to end up having to try to find some more fender or shelving like this to be able to use for patches. So the plan is to come back here. You can see where it's rotting away here. I'll probably cut away some of this, and then it comes down to about right in here somewhere. I don't have to be exact. But the big thing is to get all the rust out, or as much as I can, neutralize the other rust that's in there, and then go through and just try to take all this rust off, neutralize it, prime it up a little bit, and then switch on over to the other side. So here we are. So here's I don't know if you remember my other rear deck, but the other rear deck had rust in this area and then also down in this area. As you can see, this one's actually solid all the way across. I'm not sure where it actually came from, but it doesn't fit exactly, which kind of shows you that these cars were handmade back in the time. They bent all this stuff, and you know, I bent this one actually a little bit just to fit into this area. So it'll have to be bent some more and fit around and all that type of thing. But you know, floors are in. They still need to be tacked more and more. The thing I learned from doing all this right here is I have to get the metal cleaner when I get ready to weld. I can't have any of this painted area trying to weld to it. It just does not work. Here's the back in the corner, you know, kind of thing. So you look at that side. And if we go over on the other side and look at this side, you know, the other side was actually worse than this side. So all this will come out. All this will get taken off. All of it replaced just like the other side, but you only do one side at a time, is what I've read. There's the battery box. I'll have to cut that out. There's a piece up here that I'll have to cut out. Right there, you can see light through. Cut all this out and just replace it. And again, the whole thing of this was nobody else wanted this car the way it was. I couldn't even give it away for $200. So my whole process here was to learn how to weld and work with the car and try to get things working better with it. Down here I pulled out 2 doors. These are ones that I got on that purchase, and you can see that's a perfect door. I mean, there's no rot in it at all. The other one's just in good shape, and got 2 others that were in the same shape. This is the old nose, and I've got one right behind it, and that's the one I bought. And it's actually hardly any rust at all, but it's bent up a little bit. So there we go. MGB generator went out, so I took that off. It's sitting over there, as you can see, and I'm going to take it up to these local guys and get them to test it out, make sure it's bad, and get them to rebuild it for me. What you think? So that's it. That's it for this one. Hopefully, I'm going to try to do some more filming of me actually doing some work, but sometimes it's hard to do when I'm working by myself in the evenings and stuff. It's hard to film. But I'm going to continue on this and doing more welding, making this more solid, making it actually fit in together, do some more grinding. All that dirt that's on the ground, that's all metal. That ground off and stuff. And then I'll take the wheel off, grind all that. And hopefully next time this thing will even look a little bit better. So thanks for tuning in, and let's pray for the TR3. Hopefully it'll keep going. All right, thanks.